Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Guys, please, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you guys can do that. I still haven't had a haircut. I need a haircut. I know that. You don't need to tell me that. The sides of my hairs are going to be, you know what I mean, out here. You know what I mean? I could do like a proper punk rock style. You know what I mean? Get me, proper Londoner. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Look, we're going to get straight into things now. I want to start off with a player named Malik Fofana. Malik Fofana, rumours circulating yesterday that Manchester United were interested in Malik Fofana. Of course, we've spoken about Malik Fofana many times on the show. Even a year ago, we were talking about Malik Fofana. Before even Lyon played Manchester United, we were talking about Malik Fofana. Now, what do I make of Malik Fofana? Look, I understand the reasons why Man United would want a player like Malik Fofana. Could play right wing, left wing, attacking midfielder. But the problem is this. I know his only market value is about 30 million. That would probably go up to 50, 60 million if Man United went after him. His contract expires in 2028. He is 20 years old. But what I would say is this. We have to be extremely careful about agents using Manchester United's name to get more money for their players, to get interest in their players. Because at the moment, there's a few teams interested in Fofana. I mean, there's like Chelsea are interested in him, Liverpool apparently interested in him. But this could be all twist. This could be twist that the agent is using to try and get Fofana, you know, so other teams come in for him, you know, to make it look like there's a competition and there's a queue of teams who are interested in him. This is something that agents do a lot. And I did say this the other day about agents. Agents can twist things, manipulate things, plant seeds and stuff like that. This is what they do. And unfortunately, this is the nature of the beast in regards to that. I'm not saying that Man United are not interested in Fofana. I think Man United are interested in Fofana. I think they like Fofana. But at the moment, Fofana and his position is not a priority. At the moment, Manchester United are looking for a number 9. A number 9, guys. A number 9. That is what Man United are looking for. And wingers, attackers, dribblers, flair players. We're going to get Mbeumo, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. And we got Cunha. We've also got Xerxes, who's also a dribbler. We've also got Bruno, who's also a dribbler. We don't really need players of that ilk. We need a proper number 9. So in regards to Fofana, not saying he's not interested, not saying we're not interested in him. What I'm saying is that is not going to be a priority. Lots of people were talking yesterday about Fofana and Manchester United. Look, you know what? He's not going to break the bank. It'll cost about 50 million, but he's not the type of player that Manchester United need. A little bit like Ekitike. Man United are interested in Ekitike. Ekitike is more of a forward player. But still, again, he reminds me of that Xerxes type of player. Do you know what I mean? That player that comes from deep and brings the ball forward, etc. Man United needs someone, a focal point up there who can score goals. And I'm going to repeat that. Now, in regards to Fofana, he is wanted by Liverpool and Chelsea. So obviously, this could be all hearsay. This could be the agent spreading rumours around to make it look like he's more popular. I rate him. We watched him against Man United last year. Was very impressed with him. In fact, I was probably more impressed with Fofana than I was of Turkey. He was very, very good. Very dangerous as well. But Man United getting Mbeumo, getting Cunha, we won't be spending money on Fofana unless we're going to play him as a wing back. You know, so I don't think we're going to be doing that anytime soon, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Hope you're doing well. Big up everyone. I hope everything is fine with you. Big up Cornish Spade. Cornish, looks like Sporting possibly priced your carers out of United 68 million and we want 200,000. That's awful for PSA. But what they do, Cornish, in regards to PSR, what Man United will do, Man United will drag the transfer on a bit longer. So basically, they'll use the transfer to put installments in. So it'll be installments. So it'll be like 20 million a year. So Man United's FFP and PSR won't be affected as much as it might be deemed firstly. 250 grand is a lot of money for your carers, but would you pay 250 grand for your carers? I'm going to say it like this, guys. Yes, I would, because he's a goal scorer. And I think Man United need a goal scorer. Look, at the end of the day, we're not going to pay 68 million up front. That's not what Man United are going to do. Man United, if Man United go in for the transfer of your carers, Man United are going to do installment plan, just like we're doing at the moment with Mbeumo. This is why it's taking so long, because we're trying to work out a payment plan with Brentford. Now, talks with Brentford went very well yesterday, by the way, with Mbeumo. So hopefully Man United will get this deal through the door, because we're really taking our time, and I'm all tired about talking about the Mbeumo deal, because I like Mbeumo. He's a good player. I want Mbeumo, and I want just the official announcement of Mbeumo done. But in regards to Gyökeres did not say rejected, just like I said, guys. Just like I said, sorry to be smug, but just like I said, he did not reject Manchester United. He just said he prefers a move to Arsenal because Arsenal are in the Champions League. That is what it is. He has not ruled out Manchester United anyway. So that was a lie from the media, obviously probably planted by his agent or something like that, causing trouble and everything like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's not always what it seems. Football's not always what it seems. Football doesn't deal with absolutes, and you always have to dig deep into things and get to the bottom of something firstly, in regards to that. But in regards to Mbeumo, good talks yesterday occurred between Manchester United and Brentford. Hopefully the deal will be settled very, very soon, guys. Of course, we saw the interview with Mbeumo at the Canadian Grand Prix the other day. He was very giving out clues in regards to his future, wishing Thomas Frank the best of luck, etc. Doesn't sound like a guy who's going to be staying at Brentford, in my opinion, or going to Tottenham. So what I would say is that, yes, look, you know what? That should be done pretty soon. Good talks occurred between Man United and Brentford, and hopefully that deal will be over the line very, very soon, guys. Absolutely. When we get into other players, guys, there is more rumours, of course, broke on this channel many, many months ago. Richard Rios. Richard Rios is a 25-year-old Colombian international who currently plays for Palmeiras. He's a fantastic player, in my opinion. Remember during the last summer, Man United were interested in Richard Rios, and then they put a 90 million price tag on him, of something around that margin, which is absolutely, ridiculous for someone who has never played in Europe and stuff like that. His market value is reduced significantly, 60 million euros. His market value is worth. How much can Man United get him? 2 years left on his contract, 2-3 years left on his contract. Man United could probably get him for about 30 million, 40 million. Now, Richard Rios is a very, very capable player, and he would represent an alternative for the likes of Baleba, Wharton, and Edison, of course. And you know what? I don't mind these signings, because you know what? These signings are the type of signings that, Brentford bring it. No, Brighton bring it. Brighton were bringing this type of player, and then a couple of years down the line, everyone's saying, oh, have you seen Richard Rios and stuff like that? He is 25. It's not completely, over the hill. It is the type of age group that Man United, the limit of the age group that Man United are looking for at the moment. But Richard Rios obviously is a player that we are very interested in, and we have been for a little while now. 21 caps for Colombia. 2 goals for Colombia, of course. He can play defensive midfielder. He can play right midfield, and he can play central midfield. So that is good as well. And that is something that we could use to our advantage. So I like players like that, versatile as well. A warrior in there. FC Porto and Sporting Lisbon are interested in exactly that. FC Porto and Sporting Lisbon are interested in Richard Rios. Obviously, we need to get a move on if we're going to get this deal done, because he will end up going to Sporting Lisbon or FC Porto. And then in a year's time, we will be like, oh, we are interested in Sporting Lisbon's Richard Rios. You know what I mean? It'll be 60 million. Do you know what I mean? So what Man United need to do, if they're going to go after these players, they just need to get these players snappy, if you know what I mean, guys. Absolutely. Now, another player that Man United are interested in, it is a player that some of you might not have heard of. I mean, I've been around the block in regards to a couple of these players, but in regards to Man United are, at the moment, they're looking for a defender. Man United are going to lose a couple of defenders over the next couple of over the next month or so. Obviously, we've lost Evans. Lindelof will be gone. Eric's, Lindelof's gone, and Evans is gone at the moment. So Man United are looking for alternatives to play there, but they're also looking for. Sorry, I'm just writing this tweet. They're also looking for basically someone who can fill a void, who can play left centre back, right centre back, and could fill in that gap there. One defender. Now, this player by the name of Aruna Sangante. Now, Aruna Sangante is also wanted by Nottingham Forest. Look, Nottingham Forest, they are pretty good at scouting these players. They are pretty good, and they are pretty good at defenders as well. Of course, and they have seen defenders out there, of course, guys. They have signed defenders that I rate highly. Aruna Sengate is a player that plays for Le Havre in France. He is only ranked at 8 million euros. Okay, guys, 8 million euros. He is a centre back, guys. He is a centre back. He plays for Senegal. He can play right back as well, so that's important. So he could probably play the right wing back position as well. But he is primarily a centre back. His value is 8 to 10 million euros. So that is not too much. But Aruna Sangante is also being chased by Nottingham Forest, as I said. So Man United need to get a step on if they want to get that deal done. Although I would stress that any deals done for defenders, any deals done for midfielders are going to be on the basis that Man United get the strikers through the door that they require, including Mbeumo and the number 9, which Manchester United need. So Man United at the moment are concentrating on the most important part of the pitch, which is the strikers at the moment. Of course, we don't score goals, so we need to learn how to score goals. I don't think Man United's defense is too bad. Obviously, you've got De Ligt, Aiden Heaven, Yoro, Maguire, Mazrui. We got these players. Luke Shaw can play in there, of course, God forbid, but Luke Shaw can play there as well. So these players in regards to defenders, midfielders, and even the goalkeeper are going to be a lesser of a priority for Man United. Don't shoot the messenger. That is what I'm hearing. So we are looking for strikers at the moment, attackers at the moment. Mbeumo first, striker next, and then we're going to concentrate on the goalkeeper, and then obviously, ultimately, the right wing back, the centre back, the midfield. Hopefully, if we got enough funds, we can get those deals done pretty sharpish. Of course, guys, absolutely. Kenny, Glazer, good day, Sal. No one's getting stressed, brother. No one's stressed. Good morning, Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good morning, Mark. How you doing, my friend? How you doing, Mark? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Randall, what's going on, my friend? Morning. Love the show. Cheers. Thank you, Randall. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Thank you for the compliments, my friend. Morning, EC. How you doing? Hope you're well. Bill, good morning. Good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Every day a new player, or just interested in the FC. Yep, we're going to get a lot more of those over the next few weeks. We still, if we get Mbeumo and the number 9, you will see more players from defense, midfield, right wing back, goalkeeper will be interested in Man United. Look, you know what? If Man United get obviously Mbeumo and the striker, I would think that is a big chunk of the business that they wanted to do this summer. Now, I do think Man United, and I did predict a few weeks ago that Man United will sign about 4 players. We need about 5 or 6 at the moment, but we need more than that. But, we should be aiming at 5 or 6 at the moment. But I think Man United, in my prediction, in regards to players that we're interested in, I think we're going to get about 4 or 5. That's what I think we're going to get. I don't think we're going to concentrate on the goalkeeper this year, even though we need a goalkeeper. I don't think we're going to get one. I just got this feeling in regards to the noises that are occurring around Man United that we're not really in for it at the moment, and we're happy with Onana. Now, look, I don't know anyone who could be happy with Onana. Onana's not an elite goalkeeper. And I do think that Onana needs to be next after the striker. I really do think that. I think that we need to look for a goalkeeper. I think we do. Of course, it's all up in the air in regards to VTech. VTech could be coming back to Manchester United, so that could be a plus, of course, because he is a good player. I would go for Milinkovic-Savic in that. I would, and another rotation with them, etc. Absolutely. Big up, Baz. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Premier League fixtures out. Yes, in 2 hours' time. Big up, Kenny. Morning, Sal. How are you, my friend? Big up, Marky Mark. What about Vlahovic and Juve? Hope you have a good weekend day, my friend. Now, Vlahovic from Juve, of course, wants 350 grand a week. I don't think Man United are going to be paying that amount of money. I will be speaking about Vlahovic because I've heard some things. I'm waiting to speak to someone in Italy. Of course, I know people in Italy in regards to Juve, Napoli, and stuff. So I'm going to be speaking to someone later on, and we'll be speaking more in depth about Vlahovic. But Vlahovic is a very, very interesting player. What my biggest concern is that why Juve want to get rid of him so keenly, that is the biggest thing. There are things about Vlahovic that I'm going to bring into the show later on, of course, guys. So don't forget to watch me for that. Big up DSC. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Bill, I still worry about the midfield and defense being very slow and getting overwhelmed in midfield. I don't think Man United's defense is that bad. I think Aiden Heaven, Lenny Yoro, Mazrui, De Ligt, I think are good. I think the problem that Man United are having is that we have a very, very shaky goalkeeper that creates indecisiveness and anxiety, in my opinion. I also think that the midfield is open. I don't think we have enough energy in there, pace, grit. You know what I mean? In the midfield position, I do think we need that. And, you know, the problem is, the concerning thing about it is that Ruben Amorim spoke about the transfers, that what we're going to get done, etc. And he said that, you know, we're not going to get everything done in the summer. So that says to me that Man United are going to be concentrating on one area of the pitch at a time, which I don't think is right. I think Man United need to concentrate on numerous parts of the pitch, of course. Now, I'm not going to turn my back on the young players. We've got Collier in there, who I think is very good player. A little bit concerned about his injury record, but he's another one that I really rate Collier. Of course, Mainu is up in the air, not signed a new contract yet. So Mainu could be, you know, leaving. You never know, you know. So Casemiro's slow. Ugarte is his season this season. Of course, last season he didn't have a pre-season. So we have to give him a little bit of a benefit of doubt in regards to that, of course. Absolutely. Fex. I want United to start with Spurs effects. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about Spurs as Man United's first fixture. I mean, yesterday, who said it? Yesterday, someone said we got Spurs. Of course, there is a rehearsal for the fixture list. Remember that. And there's always these rumours that Man United are going to get this team. So there is a rehearsal. So apparently Man United probably drew out Spurs. That's why everyone's saying we're going to get Spurs. I want Spurs. I wouldn't mind Spurs at Old Trafford. I really wouldn't, Fix. I wouldn't mind Spurs at Old Trafford. Bring it on. Bring it on. Absolutely. I wouldn't mind. At the end of the day, look, as long as we don't get Arsenal away, Liverpool away, I don't mind Man City away. I actually think we're not bad at the Emirates. I actually think that at the Etihad, sorry. I actually think we're not bad at the Etihad. So I don't mind Man City away. But in regards to Spurs at home, anyone at home. I'll take anyone at home. I would. We need to start at home, I think. That would be good, of course. And a nice, easy blended into the season, of course, like Liverpool had last season. So can we have get a poll for who we want to face in our first list, please? Okay, let's do this. All right. Let me do this for you. So a poll. I only can do 4 teams. I only could do 4 teams. So I only could do 4 teams. You know? I can start a Q&A. First game of the season. Who would you prefer as United's first game of the season? There's a Q&A there, guys. So get involved, guys. Get involved. Leeds first. At home, Bill. I would love that, Bill. Leeds, dirty Leeds. We get dirty Leeds. We get them out the way, guys. Absolutely. Get dirty Leeds out the way. And then we're going on. But, guys, I want to bring it back to Malik Fofana. Look, I just want to clear this up. I like Malik Fofana. Malik Fofana, 20 years old, would be a fantastic signing for Man United. But the problem is that Malik Fofana is not a striker. And I would only say go for Malik Fofana. He's more of a winger, right? Even a number 10, I wouldn't say that Malik Fofana's that guy. I would say that he's more of a winger, left winger, right winger, that sort of player. We're getting in Mbeumo and Cunha. So I don't think they're going to play Malik Fofana as a left wing back. Or, you know, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, we're not going to do that because, you know, that would just take a lot from his game, wouldn't it? At the end of the day, and I don't think Man United are going to pay the money from him. He isn't that expensive. It would cost about 50 million. Well, it's quite expensive, you know what I mean, when in the grand scheme of things, but it would cost about 50 million. So I don't think Man United are going to be spending that at the moment. Big up, Ellen. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Jokeres Khalid wants Champions League football. Jokeres can join Asna. There you go, Fex. Absolutely. Delap was out first choice. So Jokeres, Brighton, Arsenal doesn't face me. Delap was our first choice. So Jokeres, Brighton. Look, at the end of the day, I don't mind. Look, DSC, we're not in a position at the moment as Man United fans. And I've been a Man United fans longer than many of you guys, you know, 1980s. You know, the late 80s, I've been a Man United fan for. There's some people here have been Man United fans for a lot longer, but I've been a Man United fan for nearly 40 years. So if I'm saying that if Jokeres turns around and says, look, I wanted Champions League football, but I don't mind signing for Man United. If he signs for Man United, I'm not going to cry. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that, oh, why are we signing him? I don't care about him. It's just an ego thing, a pride thing. It's who cares about pride in football? It's business. That is basically what it is at the end of the day. Man United needs a striker. Man United get Jokeres. I'm going to be happy with that. I'm not going to be moaning about it and crying about it at the end of the day. If he wanted Arsenal, who cares? At the end, who cares? You know, he didn't go to Arsenal. Arsenal wanted someone else. There you go. The most important thing for us is that we score goals next season. And we got a striker who's capable of scoring goals. That is the most important thing. That is what I look at the moment. I look at what's best for Manchester United. What do we need? I want a Mateta. I want an Osimhen. I want a Gyökeres. I want one of those players. And if we get any one of those players, I think I'm going to be pretty happy with that, to be honest with you. I will, because that shows you that, you know, now we've got a proper striker. We got Cunha, we got Mbeumo, and we got a proper striker up front. Not sacrificing Mbeumo or Cunha up front, you know, just because we haven't got a striker. We don't want to do that at the end of the day. You know, and if we do that, we can obviously, maybe some people say we sell Rasmus, or we can keep him on the bench and make Rasmus learn and let him get nurtured properly, finally. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Mark, Man United using all these rubbish reports of interest at the big smokescreen to not sign players. Gyökeres, no need for excuses. You can knock off now. United dragging life out of transfers. They're very slow. It doesn't mean they're not interested, Mark. I mean, it doesn't mean that. Man United are interested in a lot of players, but whether we get them or not, I don't know. We have over 100 players on our wish list, but when we speak about players, Mark, we basically speak about players to give you an idea of what we are after. I think the fan base needs to just be a little bit calm. The swearing, the anger is not going to get us anything, isn't it? It's just throwing rattles out of our pram. What we need to do is just like understand that, yes, we're interested in him. Will we get him? Maybe not, but we're looking at these players. So it gives you an idea. You know, I know as well as that most people know Man United are slow in transfers. I think I'm fed up with it as well, but it just is what it is. At the end of the day, go away. More Almo. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Randy. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. He's 27. Of course, he won 20 Champions League, but we need players like Cunha and Mbeumo who just want to play for our club in the Champions League. Gyökeres is not a believer. I think he missed his train, Ellen. We have to wait and see. He's 26, by the way. Yale. The only sad news is that like Mbeumo and Cunha is we're still to sell players. Big up Yale. This looks like another summer where we get the main target into the club when the window closes. We have to wait and see. At the moment, guys, I'm going to say it like this, right? And I think people just need to breathe a little bit, all right? I know it's frustrating and it's annoying and stuff like that, and I'm pissed off and you're pissed off and we're getting annoyed, you know, but what we need to do, these analogies, these predictions, we're going to do this. I could see this doing that. We had a good summer last year. You know, let's be honest. We had a good summer last year. I'm not going to throw out the lies about it, but we did have a decent summer last year. So what I would say, just wait. Look, you said it yourself, Yale, 1st of July. Transfers may drag out to the 1st of July. But my main thing is this. As long as Man United get those deals in the door, through the door, by the preseason, which I believe is on the 7th of July, if we get our transfers in by that date, I will be okay with that. So with me, I know where my levels are. I know I can go to another level, guys. I've created anti-Glazer, anti-Ineos campaigns that went all the way to Old Trafford, emptied stadiums and things like that. You know what I mean? I've done things like that. One thing I would say, guys, is that we have to act like, you know what? Okay, we got until the start of the preseason. If we haven't got our players in, the sufficient amount of players in, then we can start saying effing and blinding and F this and F that. I don't want him and I don't want to. We're in no position to say F Gyökeres, guys. Man United came 15th last year. We cannot say F Gyökeres. We can't say that. If Gyökeres became the only player available at Man United, he's not my first choice anymore. But if he was the only choice at Man United, I'm not going to be like, get on my high horse and say, F him, I'm happy with Rasmus. Because at the end of the day, what does that do to Man United? That harms Man United. You know, we need to understand that footballers have egos. Every single player has egos. Rasmus has an ego. Every player who plays football has an ego. They all think they're better than the football club anyway. So it really doesn't really matter. Because you're always going to have their ego. They're young at a young age. They're rich at a young age, They're rich at a young age. They got money at a young age. And you know what? They're run by the agent. So it's mainly to do with the agent. And obviously, Gyökeres has always said, he never said that he rejected Man United. He just said his first Champions League football, which is understandable. Of course, 27 years old, 26, 27 years old, of course. Mark, the only way I believe in Rios' interest is for sale, 20 million. If he is for sale, the only way I believe Rios' interest if he is for sale for 20 million. During the summer, he was available for 90 million. He's on Man United's wish list, Mark. You don't have to believe it, mate. You can go to Saeed and that. They'll probably tell you something. You know what I mean? Nothing. I remember this, right? I broke the Dorgu news. I broke the Eric Ten Hag news on here, guys. But just remember that I don't talk crap. Any news on sales outgoing? Yeah, go to the beginning of the show, my friend. We've been talking about it, my friend. All show. Big up DSC, of course. I'm sure Richard Reeder would take a season to settle in. He probably would, Bill. He probably would. Aaron, Sirloff, 15, 20 million, hard worker, no drama, and puts the goals in. You remember he played for Crystal Palace, didn't he, Ellen? Then he ended up going to Spain, isn't it? Surloff, what I can remember. Yeah. Bastoni, Inter Milan. Names are flying about. Ellen, who does Surloff play for? At the moment, the last time I remember him playing for, I remember Surloff playing for Crystal Palace. Do you remember when Surloff played for Crystal Palace? I remember that. I'm trying to. Norwegian international. Atletico Madrid. Bodo from Nice seems like a really good player physically wise. He won't struggle in the Premier League. Even Richard Rios, I agree. 6 ways. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Absolutely. Morning, Mark. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. I said it, Sal. Spurs for hijack candies for my kid. I wasn't concerned about boom, boom. Allow the boom, boom. I want you in my room, Dabizass. That's boom, boom. I want you in my room. Come on, mate. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room and spend the night together. You want to spend the night with Mbeumo? Guys, I've been saying it from the beginning. Mbeumo's coming to Man United, Dabizass. And stop that boom, boom business, mate. Goodness me. If you like Wenger boys, go and listen to your Wenger boys. Here today. Bill, he plays out there. Yeah, that's it. Big up, Ellen. 29 only. How much would he cost now? Probably range in about Surloff will probably be about market value. I would have said 25 million, probably. 29 years old, 25 million, of course. 63 caps for Norway and 24 goals. Not bad, is it? It's not bad if you can get it. Absolutely. Hesty, what's going on, my friend? How many new players do you think we'll be on preseason? I think about 3 or 4, Hesty. Big up Hesty, by the way. I think there'll be about 3 or 4. That's my prediction. I think that's the minimum that Man United will get through the door. It's about 3 or 4. Unfortunately, I think Man United needs 6 or 7, but I don't think Man United are going to get 6 or 7. I really don't. But it is a blessing that we need bloody strikers, don't we? We need an attack that is potent, and that's what we need, of course. Natty, good afternoon, Sal. Thank you for saying good afternoon. Thank you very much. Very, very good to see you, mate. So what do you think of Barada comparing Cunha with Cantona? Foolish, jumping the gun, putting pressure on the player for no reason. Silly comment. Eric Cantona was not only a player, he was a leader. He nurtured the younger players that came in, including the class of 92. Cantona was the one who dragged us to a league title, the first league title in 26 years. Whenever you needed, Cantona was there. Last-minute goals in FA Cup finals, an absolute warrior. Comparing Cunha with Cantona is, look, I like Cunha. I like the way Cunha is, but comparing to Cantona is misinformed, and it just tells you that they don't really know about Manchester United. When you say things like that, all you do to me is tell me you don't really understand this football club. When you're comparing Cunha to Cantona, absolutely. Cunha and Cantona had the same attitude. I don't think so, Dabizass. I don't think you were around, mate. Randy Hole gave a round of Van Moore. Big up. If we bring another midfielder in, I can see Mbeumo, Emmanuel leaving. Could be Bill. Could be. He's rejecting contracts, isn't it? It's such a good sign that over the moon he is ours. Definitely not Cantona, though. Come on, guys. Don't jump the gun. Heck, I think he should be Turkey during the derby. That will go down in history. Denbo, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, sir. I hope you're well. What's the latest on Mbeumo? Mbeumo talks went well yesterday in Denbo. They went well, and hopefully the deal should be wrapped up very soon. There is rumours about the deal being dragged on to the end of June. Of course, the financial fiscal year is going to be starting on the 1st of July. As always, obviously, Diego Lyon, we walk into the football club at that time as well. So don't be surprised if Man United get the deal done. There's a here we go, but he doesn't walk into the club until the 1st of July. So that could happen as well. So, yeah. So it is good news. There is only good news going on at the moment. Mark, there is a new film coming out this week called City 115 Case. I believe it's called 28 Years Later. Yeah, Mark, absolutely. We'd all be zombies in that time, definitely, by the time it's done. So I'm concerned that Barada said that we wait until August to get the players in the right price. Yeah, he's talking a lot of smack at the moment. At the end of the day, I'm not being overly, excited about what he's been talking about at the moment. I want to beat Spurs 7-0 first game. Wouldn't that be lovely? We need a 7-0. It's been a while since that happens. I want the champions give us Liverpool away, mate. Be careful what you wish for. We're gonna get Spurs away. Don't mind that. Bring on Spurs. Give me Lee Scum. Big up, Kenny. It's 1968 for me. Big up, Bill. There you go, Bill. Proper supporter, mate. Proper supporter, mate. This guy, Bill, has seen us get relegated, mate. You know what I mean? Fofana blew my mind in that match and played against them. He is really good. If we don't buy, schedule for yeah, I'm just reading that. If we don't buy him, we will miss out on a coming star, I'm sure. The problem is, Ellen, we don't need a winger. That's the thing. The problem is we're going to get Mbeumo and Cunha. We need a number 9. That's Man United's priority at the moment. It is the way we are at the moment. It's the way we run as a football club. And regardless if we want him, it could be his agent making noises in regards to the fee and getting teams interested in him. That's what I'm hearing at the moment. My homegrown team would be Club Sundowns. Big up Sundowns, by the way. What's that player? Randy, South African player. What's his name? Ifak. What's his name? Very good striker, Randy. Tell me, mate. I've been hearing a lot about him. Talat was our first choice. Who do you think the second choice for Ineos Sal? Gyökeres, mate. I think Gyökeres is their second choice as a striker. I really do. Good morning, Revert7. Thank you, my friend. Always polite. Thank you so much, my guy. I hope you're doing well. Big up Simon. What's going on? Leeds home, not the first away. Brentford home, Lewis away, Fulham away. Is that confirmed? It's another couple of hours and it's out. I wouldn't mind that. That's not too bad. Leeds home, winning that. The Forest away is a little bit tricky. Brentford home, Newcastle away, hard. Fulham home, yeah, we could win that one. If that was it, that's definitely it. But that, you know what I would say, guys, is that a lot of the fixture list. There is a rehearsal that comes out, so might not be the last one. Second choice was clearly Gyökeres, absolutely, Ellen. I don't believe a clue. Etiquette has thrown a lot of people off. Yeah, he's not a striker, is he? He's not a number 9, is he? I don't think where Man United go with playing 100 million euros for a number 9 or 70 million euros for a number 9. I do not think we need Fofana. We need finishers. Exactly, eye on the ball. We need the eye on the ball. Man United would be far more effective with Cunha, Mbeumo, and Mateta than they would with signing Fofana. Trust me. Man United right now, what we need is a number 9 who could put that ball in the back of the net. Fofana scored 5 goals last season, 4 assists. It's not really breaking the bank, is it? But you know what I would say? He's a highly prospect player. Can Man United afford to buy a prospect winger at the moment, guys? I'm not too sure. Absolutely. Boaz, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I remember Frankie de Jong's story. This transfer looks like the same. I see Cunha will be the only signing. Rumors are, no, that's not going to be the only signing. I doubt it, my friend. If he is the only signing, brother, if he is the only signing, then I believe that will be an absolute disgrace and then we can all go home. But it's not going to be the only signing, Boaz. Absolutely not. And there's no point thinking like that because at the end of the day, when you think like that, it plants negativity and plants toxicity. That's not going to happen. Maybe Man United signed 3 or 4, and even that's not enough. That's not enough either. But what Man United won't do is sign one player and call it quits. Absolutely not. Especially the fact that players will be leaving. Kenny, I watched a bit of a Tinker compilation stream, and I confirm he's a Xerxes type player. No thanks. Absolutely. There you go, Kenny. You see, said it yesterday. We know price and salary for Gyökeres and Osimhen. What are the numbers for Mateta? Premier League proven. 1 year left on Mateta's contract, Mark. It's going to be about probably 30, 40 million. But obviously, we're going to get messed around with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are in the Europa League. Crystal Palace could say, well, we're in the Europa League. You're not in the Europa League. Well, we don't want to sell him. We're going to sell him for 50. And that's where we're going to get a little bit, we're good, So we're going to get played like fools, We're going to play like fools. We're going to get played like fools, you know what I mean? So we can't be doing that. We have to move on. If they try to drag it on and try to put price tag on him, I think he's worth 40 million. 1 year left on his contract. 40 million. Be an effective player for Man United. I think he'd be brilliant for Man United. I really do. Highly underrated. Paul. First preseason match, 9th July versus, Leeds United on the 9th July. We start preseason training on the 7th. Jelani, morning, Sal. We are getting linked to midfielders playing for Nice. Know anything about him? Spoke about him yesterday, my friend. Spoke about him yesterday. The Algerian one, yes. Spoke about him yesterday. Kenny, Mateta for 40 million. Take it. Would. Good morning, Timo. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're good. Good to see you, fella. Revert 7. We need to score goals. Not even being to score goals against a shit Spurs team on a was a disgrace. I agree. Revert 7. The Spurs game will live in my memory for the rest of my life. The Spurs game was literally the bottom of the barrel. That was the bottom of the barrel for me. Losing to Spurs in a European final. I never thought I'd see the day that would happen. Never in my life I thought I'd see that Spurs beat Man United. And you know what? What did we see in that game? Bottlers. They can't put the ball in the back of the net. That's what it was. We don't put the ball in the back of the net, you know? For me, many of those players, in particular the senior players that played in that game, shouldn't be playing for Man United anymore. And you know what? I'm very upset with all of them, including Bruno, including all these players. I'm annoyed by these players after that game. I supported this club a very long time not to see my club lose to bloody Tottenham in a European final and make it the worst final in history. It's embarrassing for me as a Man United fan. And I think every Man United fan should be embarrassed. I'm surprised that Ineos have not come out and spoken to the fan base and said, look, last season was unacceptable. We need to improve this season, and we're going to make sure we improve next season. We're going to spend money. We're going to improve. We're going to buy this player. We're going to buy that player. I wanted to see that from Ineos, but we haven't seen anything from Ineos that suggests that they even care about us, that they care about how we feel. You know, it was absolutely disgrace. The people that traveled there, I know people that traveled to Bilbao, and I know how they felt coming back, saying that, look, I don't mind if we lose, but it's the way we lose. It's the way we lose. You know, it's like a testimonial match. That's what it was like. That's what I was hearing. It was like a testimonial match. It wasn't like a final of a European competition. I'm tired of losing finals, European finals. We've lost how many European finals we lost now? 2 Europa League finals, you know, 2 Champions League finals as well. Annoying, a madness, isn't it? He has speed though, but he's a winger, Dabizas. And we don't need a winger. You could argue that Xerxes has more skill. I would take Gyökeres. He will score the goals we need, but I'm not hyped anymore. Me too, Ellen. Exactly that. You said it there in a nutshell. I'm not hyped about Gyökeres anymore. I like Gyökeres. I wouldn't mind having Gyökeres in the football club. But what I would say, I'm not going to be, you know what, crying if we don't sign him. I want Mateta first. I want Osimhen second. That's what I want at the end of the day. And I think that is the best thing to do. Boaz, stop giving us fans false hope. United transfer too slow. They don't have any plans. Boaz, they do have plans, mate. Stop giving fans full negativity, mate. Absolutely. Esperance de Tunis is a team to support, Boaz. I'm a Man United supporter since 1986, and I agree with you. So what if you're not Gyökeres preferred Arsenal because of Champions League football? If he signed for us, I would be happy if we got him. Simon Cowie, absolutely. I don't think Man United are in a position to be, on our high horse, self-righteous and saying that just because our ego's been hit. You know, Arsenal are not bigger, but they're a better club than us at the moment. We have to be realistic at the moment. Arsenal are a better football team than us at the moment. So we need to concentrate what's going to make Manchester United a better football team than Arsenal. You know, I don't like saying that. I dislike Arsenal with a passion. I'm from London. I dislike Arsenal. The Arsenal fans are the worst. I hate saying that. I never thought I would say that. I remember Man United knocking Arsenal out of the Champions League, smacking them up. In the Champions, I remember Man United beating Arsenal 6-1, 6-2 at Highbury, 8-2 as well. You know, for me to say that Arsenal are a better football team than Man United is painful, literally painful. I need to take medication right now that I feel that way. You know, I'm saying that, but that is true. So if he wants Champions League football, he's 26, 27 years old. Of course, he's going to think like that. He's going to be thinking about his career. We're Man United. What have we given to give players hope the last 10, 13 years? What have we given? What have we done? What have we done? What have we done last season? He's going to look at that. What are ex-players doing? What's Rio Ferdinand doing talking about Gyökeres? What good does that do? You don't think he saw that? You don't think he saw what Rio Ferdinand said about him? He lacks physicality and stuff like that. You don't think he saw that? Mate, he probably did see that. You know what I mean? Why are they opening their mouth? And exactly that. If he doesn't want to go to Man United, wants to go to Arsenal, I don't blame him. I don't. You know, I can argue. I could be delusional. I could defend my football club, which I will always do. We've won more than them in the last 5 years. You know, which is true. We've been to more finals, which is true. But if we look at the structure of the football team, Arsenal or Man United at the moment, who's more likely to win the league? You know, and we need to look at that. And how are we going to catch up? How are we going to win the league? How are we going to win it? How are we going to catch up? Players like Gyökeres. We're not going to catch up by signing bloody Ekitike, bloody converted winger up front. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm paying 70 million from him. I'm not saying he's going to be crap, but he's not going to be a prolific goal scorer for us. We got enough players who cut in. Thank you very much. Do you know what I mean? If Gyökeres had challenged himself to come to United, I would have been happy, but it is what it is. Big up, Kenny. Big up. I I trust your updates. I'm just saying Rios is not worth the price tag higher than 20 million. I agree with that, Mark. I thought you meant that you won't believe it until he's worth 20 million. Last summer, they were putting a 90 million price tag on him. A 90 million price tag on him. That was what they were putting. That was a rumored. I was sitting in Italy, right? And I was looking at the news and I saw the Richard Rios. I spoke to a journalist over there. I won't say it, I won't expose him. But I spoke to a journalist. He said, yeah, you're interested in Richard Rios, but you won't get him this summer. He may be next summer. So that's why, obviously, Man United are interested in Richard Rios. I knew that this will come back, but not for 60 million. And that's the reason we didn't buy him then. You know what I mean? Because of that, obviously, price tag. You remember Jared Branthwaite, Mark? You remember Jared Branthwaite, 67 million, something like that. You know, and then we ended up getting Lenny Yoro, which was probably the best thing to do. People will stop talking if he bangs score for us. If he does this, mate, at Old Trafford, do you think people are going to care? Cunha to Mbeumo to Gyökeres. You think people are going to care? Bang in the back of the net. Man United 5, Leeds United 0, first game of the season. You think we're going to care? You know what I mean? We're going to be like, all right, man, who gives a damn? You know, Cristiano Ronaldo had trials at Arsenal. Cristiano Ronaldo had trials at Arsenal. They rejected him. We took him. The best thing to do, right, is that, they're going to, if he signed for Arsenal, if he signed for Man United, our aim is to make Arsenal eat humble pie. And that's what it is. We want them to eat humble pie. That's what it is, just like we did with Cristiano Ronaldo. Let them eat humble pie. And that's it. I would spend a day and night with Mbeumo. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, Dabizas is already taken, Ellen. I think Dabizas has already made his bed. So I think boom, boom, boom. He wants him in the room. Is already been accounted for, Ellen. Absolutely. Boom, boom, and let me hear you say Kino, big up. Oh, it could be boom, boom, boom. Everybody say Mbeumo. But you know what? I'm thinking that Dabizas means boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room and spend the night together. That is what Dabizas means. But what other people mean is boom, boom, boom. Everybody say ayo, ayo. I said boom, boom, boom. Everybody say ayo, ayo. Girl, your body is so fine. I want it to all mine. Absolutely. Remember those days? Goodness me. I remember taking it back to the 90s. Nothing can beat the 90s, guys. The 90s vibes were just absolutely brilliant. Big up, Baz, by the way. I don't know if it will get 3 strikers. We've been talking about, I think, Schick, Ratigi, maybe Guisi would be interesting. I don't think anyone has said we're getting 3 strikers, Yale. People said we're getting Mbeumo, Cunha, and Gyökeres. No one said we're getting 3 strikers, mate. Yale, I mean, don't know what you've been listening to. You got too much of that Jarvis. United are gonna sign Weghorst on loan on deadline day. Oh my God, can you imagine that? Absolutely. If Arsenal deal collapses, we have Juventus, who's very interested in him. So chances are still 5%. Mate, he's not gonna go to Juventus. Dabizas, stop talking crap, mate. Dabizas, you're close to getting blocked, mate. You're talking so much crap today. Honest to God, 5%. Juventus or Man United? Honest to God, Dabizas. I'm going to have to cook Dabizas. Oi, school, Cockney Red, ear geezer, living in Oz. Big up, Lee Davis. What's going on? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Big up in Aussie land. Hope you're well. Whereabouts in Aussie land, Lee? I've been a fan since 1985. Robert and McGrath, my faves. Revert 7, then you'll be upset that Alex Ferguson got rid of the drinking culture at Man United and got rid of McGrath. Robbo, best captain in history. What a player. Absolutely brilliant, my friend. Absolutely brilliant. If he does, how long will he stay if he can't finish top 4? Good morning, British Bulldog. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Asif. Big up. Good morning, Asif. How you doing? Long time no see. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you again. Of course, Lee. Would give a testicle to bring Robbo back. Absolutely. People don't know, Lee. People who don't witness Brian Robson. Brian Robson, I mean, obviously he had injuries in his career. But Brian Robson, I mean, as I supported Man United in the late 80s, I saw the end part of Brian Robson's career. And an absolute baller. An absolute baller, man. a privilege. I mean, obviously there was a lot of pressure on Brian Robson as well when they signed for Man United, a record fee with obviously Ron Atkinson, and he became an absolute legend, guys. An absolute legend. Not only was he a legend, he's a gentleman. He's a gentleman, an absolute diamond geezer. Do you know what I mean? He's a proper player. Proper player. They don't make him like that anymore. They really don't. He had everything. He had everything. Everything. Goal scoring, number 8, number 6, defending, scoring goals, finishing. Unbelievable. Ikram Reinders, that's the one, Randy. He's good, isn't he? Bloody hell, he's good, isn't it? Ikram Reinders, absolutely brilliant. That's the one. Ikram Reinders. Why aren't Man United looking at these players, Randy? I would have had scouts, Rand. I would have had scouts at that World Club Championship. This month, it would have been my priority would be get some scouts at that World Club Championship. Let's get some scouts there and let's see if we can find any gems. I've already seen a few. Ikram Reinders is one. I've already seen a few. Do you know what I mean? I guarantee you Ikram Reinders is going to end up signing for a Spanish club. He's going to score goals. It's going to be like Benny McCarthy all over again. Do you know what I mean? He's going to score goals over there, of course. The South African from Sunday would be good for us. Ikram Reinders, absolutely. Big up, Leeson. You see that? No one heard of him before, but you know what? When you do the scouting, you find these gems. You know what I mean? And, South Africa is a great hub for football. They love football. You know what I mean? And you'll see good players there. I mean, I remember Lucas Radebe, players of that ilk, brilliant player. Brilliant player. You know what I mean? Absolutely brilliant. Big up, Baz. Asif, Barada spilled the beans here. What is your take on it, Sal? Pinch of salt, Asif. Pinch of salt. He said that we're not going to get all the deals done by August. They're going to try and get some deals done. But deals will be done, Asif. It's just that don't be surprised if some deals get done in August, for the start of the preseason. And this obviously, what does this tell me, Asif? Let me tell you the truth, what this tells me, right? This tells me that this ownership, Barada and whoever it is, are so misinformed. They're so out of touch with what the problem has been at Man United over the many years that we've been supporting this great football club. What has been the problems? We've never got the transfers done by preseason. Never. We've never got them done by preseason. You know what I mean? This is the problem. And then when we get into the game, the first game of the season, these players are not ready. And this is what we need to understand. We need to emphasize. We're penny pinching, saving money. You know what I mean? When not getting them in time could cost us more money in the long run. You know what I mean? Madness. Big up. Good luck to Sundowns, my friend. Simon, Palace could still get kicked out by UEFA. Yeah, I don't think they will, though, Simon. If that did, that'd be out of order. If that happened, give it to Brighton. Or Man United. Yeah. If that happened, give it to Brighton. Yeah. Or I think they're next in the league, isn't it? I think if Palace don't go, it'd be Brighton. That would be crazy, isn't it? Because Brighton are rivals with Palace, of course. I hope so. Otherwise, we have Osman doing 350 grand a week. I can actually see we get Gyökeres. He fits our system way better than Arsenal's. He gets nicked good in the air. And we all know Arsenal goals are coming from set pieces. Absolutely. That's why they want Sesko, Elian, isn't it? Absolutely. Hesty, exactly. Crystal Palace won't let go of Martina. No, they won't. Absolutely not, Hesty. And why should they? Why should they? They're in Europe. We're not. They're going to use that to their advantage. And they say, well, we're in Europe. You're not in Europe. We're, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be on that flex, ain't they? To be honest with you. 35 likes. Thank you so much, San. Don't forget to smash a like, guys. Let's get to 50. I don't know how many likes we're on now. I think this message came about 15 minutes ago, guys. So don't forget. Big up Dabizas, by the way. We're just having a little bit of fun, by the way, Dabizas. Much love to you, brother. Asif, Sal, Groot. I forgot about that name, Asif. He's acting as an agent at the moment. Heard the news he is convinced Mbeumo to join United. The news came out soon after Barada. Groot. Yeah, I spoke about it yesterday, Asif. Not yesterday, the day before yesterday, Asif, on Chatterbox. I spoke about it the day before yesterday, Asif. He has spoken to Mbeumo, yeah. Mbeumo's coming to Man United. Mbeumo's already agreed. He's already agreed to go to Man United. I don't think he needs convincing. He's already agreed. We're just waiting to get the financial package ready, isn't it? We're taking our time. Coco, what's going on? We are so slow to deal with the settings like we don't have a whole transfer department. Coco, we are slow, and I'm tired of it as well. I'm fed up with it as well. You're not the only one, Coco. I'm making phone calls. I'm going bending over backwards for, trying to find news out. And Man United have got their cards very close to their chest. They're just taking their time. Man United are in a unique position than other football clubs. We got so much work to do, guys. The amount of work that Man United need to do is astronomical compared to other clubs. Not only ingoings, outgoings, as I said, Man United got a lot of work to do, and hopefully we speed up. My feeling is this: we may even wait until the end of the month and July. And if that happens, Man United will probably get 1 or 2 in at once. And that is what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Or 1 or 2 in July, on July the 7th, when the window opens, I'm off to Italy, guys. I'm off to Italy. I'm going to be meeting journalists. I'm going to be doing that. I'm off to Italy. I'm also in Qatar. Okay. So I'm going to be doing a lot of work, right? Getting down to the nitty gritty of things. And I do every summer. I travel, get to know people, get to meet journalists and stuff like that. And you know what? I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on. I remember we're going to Istanbul last year and talking to the representatives of Kadioglu. I wanted to find out about Kadioglu. And they were telling me, no, Kadioglu wants to go to Man United. But Man United had not made a bid for Kadioglu. And he ended up going to Brighton. And I remember that very well. And frustrating. Man United have got a habit of frustrating us. You know what I mean? It's not like we came 15th last season, Natty, remember they did an apology, Barada, is it good suffering last season? They need to do a proper one, mate. I haven't seen anything proper. 1st of July, we will get Here We Goes. Absolutely, Ellen, I agree with that. Absolutely. I think we need to be. We should spend the Mbeumo deal ASAP. Absolutely, Debazas. United must look at the African market for midfielders, Zimbabwe in particular. I agree. We got Kone, didn't we, Randy? So we need to look more in thing. Hopefully, we see Kone next season in regards to playing next season, getting some game time. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Asif. Sal, it looks like Arsenal has Gyökeres as a backup. Gyökeres has United as a backup. Why would we wait for Gyökeres? Need players who want to United. Like, we can't think like that, Asif. At the end of the day, I don't think anyone really truly wants to play for Man United in regards, apart from Cunha in Mbeumo. But the thing is, I don't think we're going to narrow down our search significantly if we only get players who want to play for Man United. If Gyökeres becomes available for Manchester United, I'll be happy with taking Gyökeres at Man United because he's going to score goals to Man United. I don't care about who he preferred or not. Ronaldo went to Arsenal first on a trial. The Lap wanted Man United. He went to Chelsea. Who cares? I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel like we just need to take what we can. We're not in a position at the moment. We're Man United by name, not by nature, sadly. David says, African Market does have good physical players who could play midfielders. Problem is, AFCON, we got a few AFCON players next season. Let's remember that as well. We got a few players in AFCON next season. Your guys does not lack physicality. He needs to go to Specsavers. He doesn't watch, mate. He's so uninformed. It's unbelievable. That's what you get when you support people like bloody who he supports, and who he supports and what they're known for. Coco. Cunha, Ossie, Mbeumo, that's a title-winning front three, even if it's a shit team. I agree, Coco. Yeah, I agree. Underrated as well. Absolutely. Natty, we are not in the same page with Arsenal. They're ready to win titles. Sadly, it's sad, but what can we do? We have to catch up, and only by catching up, we need the world-class number 9. As Irfan said, we need Victor Osimhen. He is a world-class number 9. Absolutely, we would need that. Of course, Cunha, Ossie, and Mbeumo does sound high press and fast attacks. As it does. What's the story? Brian and Mbeumo, bro. Good talks yesterday. Positive noises coming out of the club. Man United should have that deal wrapped up very soon. Key thing to remember, Man United might not have the official deal announced until the 1st of July, which is the fiscal year, the financial year. So, look, we are still early, but Here We Go could still happen in June. So we are waiting for that Here We Go. And that Here We Go can drop anytime. But there were positive talks yesterday. Great news coming out. So hopefully we get that done very soon. Randy, get Osimhen or go home. Big up David's ass. Henry, what's the latest on Mbeumo? Yeah, just said it. Big up Henry, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Of course, my old man is Tottenham. His 5 brothers, all Arsenal. My brother's Tottenham as well. Lived in Highbury Quadrant Green Laners. I've stood on the North Bank and the shelf at Tottenham. Can you imagine our arguments? My youngest brother, Bill, is a Liverpool fan. My oldest brother is a Tottenham fan, been a Tottenham fan 40 years. My dad is a Huddersfield fan. My mum is a Wimbledon fan, Bill. Can you imagine the arguments as well? There you go. No way Soap Theo said child of Arsenal. He did. And they said no. Victor Okeres liked to play for UEFA Champions. Arsenal never win. Yes, and will never win. Arsenal Netflix. Big up fan. Love the positivity, my guy. Absolutely. George. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody sing along. As long as it's not boom, 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 I want you in my room because you're going to upset Dabizas. So don't. You're going to, you know what I mean? Absolutely. You're going to upset Dabizas. Natty. Juventus are crap. Why would he go there? We'll not win anything. Exactly, Natty. He wants to go to the Premier League. People underestimate how good the Premier League is. Players want to play in the Premier League, not play the Serie A. Goodness me, they're not even the best in Serie A. Big up, Dabizas. We're only joking around, Dabizas. Don't worry about it. Dabizas, I'm playing around. Big up, Dabizas. Much love to you, brother, every single day. Inspired channel. Arsenal's a lot of first five in the season are Tottenham. Team news and Manchester United away. Leeds, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Man City. That's the rehearsal inspired channel. It's not the actual one. So the rehearsals get leaked all the time. The rehearsals for the fixture list get leaked. Thanks for starting my day with a good way, Sal. You always do with me, Ellen. You always make me happy. You make me happy. The skies are grey. You are my Ellen, my only Ellen. You make me happy when skies are grey. Dabby says, Gardy, it's fucking dearer. But please don't take my Ellen away. Absolutely. Sorry, Dabbies, I had to bring you in. Absolutely. You're the only one who ends with Gardney, who I can honestly see. That's it. Sorry, mate. Absolutely. Sorry, mate. Teams Arsenal at home. The first game of the season. Nah, it's a rehearsal inspired channel. It happens every year. It's rehearsal, bruv. Robson and Remy Moses. Guys, Bill Taylor. Bill. Remy Moses. Underrated player. Injury prone. Problem. You know, and he was such a good player. People don't know Remy Moses, guys. Do your research on Remy Moses. He would have been an absolute superstar at Man United if it weren't for injuries. You know, big up Remy Moses. British Bulldog. Bill and British Bulldog. Big up. Brian Robson was different. Watch his performance against Barcelona. He and Roy Keane and Cantona. Brian Robson was an absolute... British Bulldog. They don't make them like that anymore. That's all I'm going to say. They just don't. I mean, Roy Keane, Brian Robson, Paul McGrath. I mean, I would love Paul McGrath in Man United team right now. Can you imagine? You know, those sort of players, Gordon Strachan, Remy Moses, you know, Clayton Blackmore, great players. Great players. Paul Ince as well, you know, Mark Hughes, Gary Pallister, Les Seeley. Brilliant players. Big up Les Seeley, God rest his soul. Absolutely. It's a rehearsal, Kenny. It's a rehearsal. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. They do that all the time to create hype. Don't fall for it. Absolutely not. Big up Brian. Big up Daniel. Daniel, what's Brian does well? Glory Gomania. Big up Daniel, my friend. Give me a break. My fingers are bigger than the buttons. Big up British Bulldog. Absolutely. According to Team News, it's a rehearsal. It's a rehearsal. It's not the real thing. Absolutely. What was the best all-round footballer I've ever watched? Me too, Lee. I think the best all-round footballer I've ever seen in my life is Zinedine Zidane. Zinedine Zidane is I've seen it close up, and I am in awe of Zinedine Zidane. I thought Zinedine Zidane was absolute. At Man United, I'm telling you right now, guys, if you knew Brian Robson, oh, man, that's why I get so frustrated with players who play for Man United, and we call them legends. We call them legends. We call players who come 15th in the league legends. You know, I just... That thing gets thrown around so easily. You know, that right there, it gets thrown around so easily. A legend is Brian Robson, absolutely. Any news on Mbeumo? Oses, good talks with Mbeumo. Go to the top of the show. I'll explain it. Big up Oses, of course. He's coming, Oses. He's playing for Man United, yes. Grootner, big up, Grootner. He's still at Man United, by the way. He'll be here next season as well. Big up, Ichichi. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. Good to see you again. Hope everything is good with you guys. Thank you, everyone. Big up, Kevin Donovan. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Richard Rios, we're chasing him, bro. Yes, we are. We've been chasing him since last year, Kevin. Hopefully, we get some news about Richard Rios very soon. Only going to cost 20 million euros. Hopefully. He was valued at 90 million last year, which was absolutely mad thing, wasn't it? Lee, followed United everywhere when relegated, my favourite season. Oh, Lee, you know what? At least when you see Man United in the old Division 1 or you see him in the Championship, at least you get to see Man United win games. You know what I mean? Lou Macari, of course, great human being, played for Man United during that period and deserves a Sir, Lou Macari, doesn't he? Deserves a Sir, doesn't he? Absolutely. It is leaked news, guys. Leaked. Trust Uncle Sal. Trust me. Leaked. It's leaked. Rehearsal. It was a rehearsal. Goodness me. Ichichi, Mr. Sal and Mbeumo deal now. Please have a sign in this summer. It will be signed. Don't worry. The good old days, mate. The good old days. Guys, thank you everyone who's joined me today. Sorry I can't read out all the chat comments, but thank you everyone who's joined me. You absolute legends. Have a great day, great night, great evening, everyone, of course, guys. Great players to turn us down. Shearer, yeah, twice. Salas, Balak, Ronaldinho, absolutely, yeah. Cliver, another one. Batistuta, another one. Celio Silva, another one. Loads, guys. Even Chris Sutton turned us down. I think it was David Hurst. You know what I mean? Guys, thank you so much, you absolute legends. I'll see you later for Chatterbox. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on the video if you could be as kind. And also, please don't forget to put the notifications on. So when I do go live, if there is any Here We Goes, Ornstein Bombers or anything like that, we will be live, guys. So make sure you're ready for it. I will come on. I'll be on stream no matter what I'm doing. You know what I mean, guys? Take it easy. Have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Take it easy. See you soon. Peace.